guys, this is Thomas.
This is Taylor.
This is Ryan.
And we're back again with another 3 Dudes, 1 Blog podcast. This podcast is for the week of July 10th? 11th.
11th. Yes, the 11th.
This week,
Oh,
I'm drinking the Fat Tire and Friends
How are you, Taylor?
Fat Poppy Ale
Great, Ryan.
How's
by
your
New
house?
Belgium Brewing
It's good, actually.
in
It's
collaboration with
I should come
Firestone
over there and look
Walker
at the
Brewing
rest.
You
Company.
should. We're gonna
Okay,
get our
whoa, look at our
living room on
levels.
Tuesday, though. I didn't touch it.
Well, it's because
We're all
we're all
talking.
trying to talk over each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our living
so,
room shows up on Tuesday, though. It's exciting.
What?
Our
Nothing.
living,
Don't worry about it.
living room shows up on Tuesday.
Continue
Oh.
what you were doing.
Oh, no, I'll skip it. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. So here we are,
I'll just add it in post.
back again. Yeah, there you
We
go.
took a
Whatever.
week off so I could quit playing Overwatch.
Wow.
But we'll get to that
You're
later.
just jumping
that
right
later.
into it.
We'll get to that later. Because that's not my topic. And I won last time. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
start
that
first.
means you get to go first.
I gotta go first.
Do we want to do any, like, pre-talk, or you just
I mean, do you
Ryan's
guys
just going
want to
straight
talk
in.
about like your 1070s that you both installed and how godly they are?
Yeah, they're
or-
pretty. I haven't actually tested mine yet.
I mean,
but
what else
it's
do we want to talk
shown.
about?
I mean, Overwatch suddenly clicked itself onto Ultra, which was really distracting.
Can you tell like a significant difference?
I mean, I can tell that there's a little bit more of a shininess to it, but it's like, you know, we were talking about it when we were playing it. The textures in Overwatch are kind of meant to be kind of lower quality, so
Yeah.
you can't really get a huge definition boost, but the main menu in particular, for whatever reason, looks a lot, fancier.
Yeah, well, it's just like the character that shows up behind the menu.
Yeah.
Now, what you need to do, Taylor, is you're still gaming at 1080p, correct? You need to turn on dynamic resolutions.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later because I actually have a question about that. But anyway,
Yeah.
yes, I should. I don't have 1440p, for instance.
Yeah, I am like...
I don't think my monitors do 1440p.
If they did, you would know. You would have paid like $500 to $600 for your monitor.
And I only paid about $100 for
Yeah.
each of them.
You would definitely know if you were running a 14. I need a new 1440p monitor. That thing's from like 2013.
2013.
I thank
think I have one
the
for you,
PC gaming gods every time I transfer that thing to a LAN party and it actually turns back on. Like it creaks and
You
cracks.
just
And,
jinxed yourself,
Yeah,
Thomas.
watch.
Going to
I have a
going
spare-
to
I have a
Louisville
spare
in a
for
couple
you.
weeks.
oh, you just wait.
I have a spare
When
for
that
you.
thing dies,
You're going out to Best Buy that day.
No,
buying
I
a
won't.
new one?
I won't go to Best Buy. I'll go to Amazon and I'll get a nice like $700 27-inch curved screen
I got
1440p
a
monitor
TV you
with
can have.
G-Sync.
Is Amazon based out of Louisville,
They have a Lexington one.
a Lexington one? So you might be able to get one-day shipping on it, maybe.
Or just
I mean,
pass
I can
it.
get
day,
one.
same day.
Or just
I
call
can
the
get 1 day
warehouse.
shipping and same day shipping to Cincinnati. Well, the 1 day and same day have to be in your city, as far as I know, because
Or-
Cincinnati does have some here now to help with that.
All right, anyway.
At any rate, it like getting a 1070 has got me like full PC gaming bug. Like I want to get that thermal take case I was showing you, Taylor, that has the
wall mount
open
stuff.
air and the wall mounts.
Didn't your brother get that?
Yeah, my brother
Wall
got one.
mounts.
It's a case you can mount on the wall. It's going to go right there above the monitor.
Jesus.
And see, that's easy. What I'm going to do that I promised myself I would never do is go full custom water cooling loop.
Sell out.
That's what I'm going to
Sell
do. Probably for my birthday is I'm going to
Buy yourself some water cooling.
go water cooled and mount my computer on the wall.
I just had my birthday and I didn't really get anything. I could buy myself a desktop and say it's my birthday present to myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be.
Yeah, just make sure you don't.
Georgia.
What are you even smelling, George?
Everything.
Just make sure you don't buy one piece at a time over like 6 months.
Yeah, buy.
Every time somebody does that, they always end up regretting it. It's the worst. Just wait.
Cool.
Okay, now
Ryan.
Okay.
that we've had some buffer.
So the topic that I'm going to talk about is a little old at this point, but there's still some new revelations, like brand new news just happened today. So it's still somewhat relevant. So we're going to talk about it.
And I wanted to talk about it.
We're going to talk about CSGO and skins and everything that is going on with that right now.
And FTC regulations.
So, I guess the backstory, if like the people who live under a rock who haven't heard of it, is this YouTuber called Honor the Call did some investigative digging and into one of the multiple CSGO gambling websites, specifically CSGO Lotto, and found that two very prominent, I wouldn't say they're very prominent for CSGO videos. One of them's more of a Call of Duty guy, and the other guy I know is a Minecraft guy. I don't really know what else he does. But they were the two co-owners of this prominent CSGO Lotto website, and they had made multiple videos talking about how they found this cool website and how it was awesome and how you can win all this money betting skins and like cool reaction videos, which like every YouTuber is doing, like case openings and reaction videos.
Now
it's like the new version of clickbait on YouTube videos.
No, I'll be honest, I didn't look into like the mechanics of what the heck they're actually betting on. So are they betting on what they get out of the box?
No, so like they open open cases,
Okay,
and then they take their skins, and there's like two different variants that they can do. Of you can go 1-on-1 with the guy, and I bet $50 worth of skins, and you put in $50 worth of skins, and then like a digital coin flips, and whoever I'm heads, you're tails.
Yeah,
and if I win, I get your skins. If you win, you get my skins.
So it's basically just like war, essentially, because
Yeah.
I'll put up whatever I want and flip a coin.
But then the other version that I've saw, I didn't really know that 1-on-1 coin flip existed. The one that I've seen multiple videos about before is there's this group, like it's like an open pool, and you can put as much money into the pot as you want. And if say the pot is $1,000. I put $500 in. You put $300 in. Thomas puts $100 in, and somebody else puts $100 in. It means I get a 50% probability of winning. You get a 30% probability of winning. Thomas gets a 10%, and the other guy gets a 10%, or whatever.
Interesting.
So, like, they would put up videos of them betting like small amounts into a huge pot where it's like, oh, well, I only have a 3% chance of winning this $4,000 pot, and then they win.
Surprise. Well, also, like, they're betting, just to make sure I'm understanding this right, they're not betting, like, say, $100 straight up. They're betting $100 worth of skins.
Yeah, and so that's the thing of, like, it gets into this... You're only gambling skins, and this is the loophole that they argue, is like you're not gambling money, and so it's not technically gambling.
Which
like,
is
nothing
technically
like,
true.
If there wasn't this weird, like people didn't associate money with it, like you could just gamble skins or whatever.
Yep.
And so people are saying skins are essentially poker chips, which essentially is what they are.
I mean, yeah.
So it's all this... just this weird amalgamation of like values of like, well, I say this skin's $100, and so it's $100.
Well, I'm sure they tie into like the skin selling sites.
Yeah.
So I wonder who owns the skin selling site.
I'm not sure, but
what if it's the same guy?
It's me.
So
it's
people got upset that they didn't disclose
that they owned it.
That they owned it, which is a problem, and it causes like a bunch. So the first thing I saw was like people were arguing like, well, how could you not tell us that you owned it? Like you should have disclosed this in your videos, which they should have.
Yeah.
But then the bigger part of it, and part of that doesn't really bother me. Of like, I don't really care. Like I don't watch a video and not expect somebody to be getting paid for it.
Right.
At this point in like reality,
if it has any sort of production value.
So like I assumed, and apparently it's very common of like almost every person, big YouTuber who makes like these videos has some kind of relationship with these sites, whether they own them or they are secretly getting sponsored by them.
Right.
And like it was a dirty secret of the CSGO skin scene of like Everything was under the table, and nobody was talking about it. And so this is a big deal in that, like, this is getting broken. But the FTC is not going to do anything to these guys. They might get fined or whatever.
Right.
But the bigger thing is, up to this point, Valve was doing nothing to stop this. This has been going on since 2011, I think, is when like the skins were implemented into CSGO. And like immediately the API was open. Third-party sites immediately were created to sell outside of the market, because Valve does have an internal system where you can buy and sell guns, but that money stays inside Steam, and that dollars, like, you can't take the dollars out of Steam. It stays inside Steam. But these third-party companies have been from the beginning, like, you could buy and sell skins outside of Steam, and now the Lotto market has popped up more recently and gotten more popular. But I thought it was really interesting that Valve was literally doing nothing until today. Literally today, when I was coming home from work, I saw that they have announced they're going to start sending out cease and desists to these companies, conveniently after there's been 2 lawsuits filed against them about this.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting that, and wanted to get your opinions about who do you blame the most out of this? Like, do you think the problem is the YouTubers? Because personally, what they did is bad. I'm not saying they should get off scotch-free, and they're not going to get off scotch-free. But I totally blame a lot more on Valve of sitting there and doing nothing and twiddling their thumbs and saying, hey, we're making money off of this. We don't really care what they do as long as we get money off of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think so. As far as the court of public opinion goes, like, these guys are gonna disappear or whatever. I mean, their follower base is
gone.
Probably 12 and 13-year-olds who will continue to watch them. Whatever, who cares? They'll fade back into semi-obscurity for everybody else. But what's most important about this is how upset everybody's getting, especially at Valve, because in the span of a couple years, as far as my perception, Valve has gone from one of the kings of gaming to, like, starting to look pretty sleazy.
Everybody's
and just
realizing
not cool.
They're a real corporation that's just in it to make money.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're not doing cool shit anymore. Like, so,
Summer sale.
I mean,
they're not making Half-Life 3. I mean,
well, so, like, they have Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, and Dota 2. Those are, like, the only games that they do as a gaming company.
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2 launched in 2007. Counter-Strike Go has been out since 2010. I mean, it's great that they're, like, supporting these games, but, like, the thing that gets me is Valve used to be this awesome company that, like, if Valve made a game, you knew it was going to be an awesome game.
Yeah.
And what happened to them? Like, I'm sure it can't take all of Valve's developers to keep up with CSGO skins and TF2 competitive mode.
They realized paying a bunch of money to people to make a game and make a little bit of money off it is not as good of a business as focusing on 3 games and keying in on microtransactions of hats and CSGO keys for cases and Dota skins and
all that stuff.
Right.
That's not where the money is anymore. The money's not in making games.
Right. Well, that's not good for Valve's
It's not good for Valve's image, and I'm not as in, like, reading. I don't dig into the gaming internet of, like, the deep Reddit of all that stuff.
Deep web.
The deep web. Yeah, that you guys do. But, like, everything that I see isn't focusing on Valve as much. I mean, I've seen a couple articles where people have actually come out and blasted Valve and said similar things to what I just said of, like, they just sat on their thumbs because the view of this is, like, to get these skins, they had to open cases. And to open cases, you have to pay $2.50 to Valve directly.
Yeah.
And so Valve's sitting in there raking on all this money and saying, well, we don't care about these kids that are losing we're getting our $2.50 off of every single skin that they buy. And we're going to keep giving you shit skins. And it's like the 1,000th time you buy a skin and you get the knife or whatever and you quote unquote make your money or whatever Valve's made $500 off of you.
I would agree with the sentiment that you two seem to have, because especially since I didn't know that they had a public API for that, and that's how they were really doing this, in the sense that
I've seen mixed things about it. It's not, they didn't put out this is our code.
Well, no.
This is go do with it what you will.
But at the same time,
they never said
people can.
Yeah.
If you do not protect those things, speaking from someone who has to do that, if you do not protect them, they will be figured out and they will be maliciously used. Well, maliciously, but in this case, like you just said, though, Counter-Strike came out in 2010 or so, right? So they've had 6 years at this point to stop that, because they've obviously had to have known this was going on.
Right. Just to be clear,
skins were not at launch.
Skins didn't come out in the initial beginning. But yeah, they've had many years.
They've had at least 4 years then still, right?
Yeah. So, and the API was probably not found by anybody. I mean,
but it wasn't protected, right? My point is that they see that these sites exist, B, see that these sites are somehow using all of their data, and D, see that money doesn't always come back into the CSGO economy, right? Like, they may get their $250 for the keys, but they don't see that money from that skin that gets sold go back out, right? Is my point.
And the other thing too is it's not just them being able to link directly to the Steam account. Like the way that the process of these gambling sites is, if you and I battle each other, and I set my skins in and you set we actually trade the skins to a bot Steam account that these websites have set up. That is
so then they definitely see the traffic. There are these accounts that are having millions
these are
and millions
fake
of skins
accounts that
going
are
through.
directly against Steam's terms of service, and Steam didn't do anything about it.
Which I would say, to your point, is because they're getting paid. If people want to try and manipulate that system and get things in and out, I mean, Blizzard's been trying to stop stuff like that with the gold people for years. Right?
And there's been
so here's the distinction, which is what matters to me more than Valve is. Blizzard has been trying to stop this kind of shit.
That's where I'm getting. It's like they've had 4 years to have at least tried.
Blizzard completely shut down the auction house of Diablo
because it was becoming a problem. It's like, whereas Valve just kind of was like, well, we're getting paid. It's fine.
Well, the real money auction house was also a total shit show.
It was. That was a bad idea. But excuse you.
That was George.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of silly.
Yeah, those streamers are total scum of the earth kind of dudes.
I mean, I never really watched
Fart knockers.
I knew Syndicate through watching Nadeshot videos of them playing Minecraft together. And
Do you think Nadeshot owns a CSGO Lotto site?
I've never seen him do a CSGO gambling video.
Well, maybe he was smart.
Maybe he was smart enough to avoid that.
Yeah, to not
I've only
post
seen
the
him
video.
do case openings, which is the legal part of it. I mean,
right. Anyway,
but if we want to go back to address the YouTube, at first when I first saw this coming up, I was just like, well, what does this really mean? I didn't realize what it was.
Yeah.
But then you go back and they show the clip of T. Martin. That video is just awful.
How can you look at that guy for more than 5 minutes and not know that he's fucking trying to scam the shit out of you? He has the most dishonest face I've ever seen.
I think Thomas watched it. Did you ever see this?
I have not seen it, no.
He's sitting there at his computer and he literally, word for word, says, I just stumbled across this website. It's really cool. I just won $50. I'm going to follow them on Twitter.
Y'all should check it out.
They've already messaged me. We might start some kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Sketchy.
and like he owned them
Yeah.
from the beginning. I mean,
It's not
I
very
wanted
cool.
to think like this was just a mistake until I saw that clip, and I was just like, wow, this guy, like,
you're that guy.
you're just a douche.
He's the worst.
the worst.
He had nice stairs though in his house.
No, I mean, I saw a video of him like he's. I've saw things that he's driven around at GTR for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He just bought like a multi-million-dollar mansion in Florida, like on a lake with like an infinity pool and like this monster house.
Property
And he
taxes
bought
are
this
probably gonna
huge
suck.
setup like monster Jeep thing of like he's rolling in the money.
How old am I that the first thing I think when I hear people say someone bought a really big mansion is I'm like, God, the property taxes. God, that's going to be so
It's
Well,
not age. It's just the
Florida
fact that you just
doesn't
bought a
have,
house.
Oh, do they not?
I know they don't have
Am I moving to Florida?
state income taxes. I don't know if they have property taxes.
Sounds like
I mean,
I'm
you
moving
have
to
to have
Florida.
property taxes.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
not since everything gets blown off the face of the planet every few years.
I mean, I don't know. It's
Texas. I just know Florida and Texas don't have income tax at all,
Yeah. I am down for that.
which is it's not really that good because you can write off your state income taxes on your federal taxes.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, which is fine.
but
But
What?
that's not the top.
yeah,
Yeah,
that just kind of happens though.
we're gonna have to talk
you
next
don't
tax
use
season.
You don't use TurboTax properly then.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's literally like a button that's like, how much did you make? How much was deducted? Great, we'll get.
Well, I mean,
you a
I filled
refund.
out both of the state.
If,
and
I feel like
the
if you fill
federal.
it out, you probably do fine. You probably just don't know it's happening.
I mean,
This isn't for this podcast.
it's not. I don't think it's possible
Would
for
anyone
me
like
to get
tax advice?
a larger tax refund. Like, I feel like I'm doing it wrong already. Like, I'm
either-
underreporting or something because
Or do you always have like a big refund? Or do you
yeah,
always
last
owe-
year I got like $2,600 back.
that is indeed high. You may want to look into that.
Well, but always like since I was ever had a job, I always got like when I was working shit jobs at
Yeah,
like Little Caesars, I got like $1,000.
I mean, it
That's
would be
because
normal if you were to be paying more
if
every
you're
time.
working a part-time job and you're only working like 30 hours a week at Little Caesars or whatever, you're not making
right.
like,
I'll get
above
basically all that
poverty
back.
line. You're
Yeah.
like you're getting all your taxes back.
Our so anyway, the
isn't the
consensus here,
economics
the
podcast.
consensus here is that you should all follow your income tax. No, okay,
The
that those guys are
consensus
douches.
Is that you shouldn't gamble, and all you 12-year-olds that are gambling are stupid in the first
Why
place.
would you?
But
I
Well,
don't
they're
get- I don't even
they
get
just don't know any
skins.
better.
I don't even get skins.
It makes your gun look cool.
I mean, I had a good time looking at some of the skins in League of Legends when I was playing it for a little bit, but I would not spend real money on those.
Anyway, just as a sidebar,
Sidebar.
Rocket League announced that they were doing loot boxes at the worst possible time. Like, if you work at Rocket League, like you need to just hold that announcement off for
Let
a
the
month
fire
or two,
dim
okay?
down.
Like, don't in the middle of Valve is getting sued for their loot boxes. Hey, we're making loot boxes.
we got loot boxes.
We got
they
those
just
loot
had
boxes.
their 1-year anniversary, though. They had to release something.
Yeah, it would have been better to say it's been a great year, guys. We got some cool things planned.
I thought I read that they're actually not going to be going through Valve for those.
Yes, they're
boxes.
keeping it outside of Valve. I mean, the important thing is to not make them tradable.
Yeah.
As long as they make them
that's the thing that we
non-tradable.
talked about last night is like you said, Blizzard gets past all this by not letting you
Do it.
do stuff. Of like Hearthstone is a perfect economy in that
You can only
you
buy.
you can only buy cards and then you can dust them and then you can build other cards. But like if I could give you cards and you could give me cards,
Suddenly we would have those situations of, hey kid, want a blue eyes white dragon?
Exactly. Yeah.
hey
So-
kid, I'll give you 2 leper gnomes for your Harrison Jones.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, so this is just to recap. The moral of the story is
Valve sucks.
Gambling
Blizzard
is
Those
bad.
YouTubers
Okay.
sucks.
Valve is no longer the king of video
Gambling's
games.
bad. Okay.
Blizzard has reclaimed the crown.
All these, I just don't understand these people that just worship like Steam forever. Like Steam was just this untouchable thing of like.
I will say that it is
I
one of the better
understood-
stores I've used.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad store, but it's just a store.
It's just a store.
Well, okay, so just as somebody who like,
I mean, in the 90s, yes, they were.
well, it didn't
like,
start in the 90s, it started in the 2000s. As like
It feels like it was the 90s.
I opened a Steam account the year Steam opened, and the only things that you could get on Steam were Valve games. You could buy like 3 games, and that was the store. And like every week or once a month, they would come out with new games. And like I had like groups of people who like we would get on the Steam once a month when they released 50 games, and we're like, "Oh, this game looks cool. This game is so cool." And they were like, "Oh, it was awesome," because back then it was all indies. Like it was all like, this game's $5, this game's $10, this game's $12. Like Steam at this point, yes, is just the status quo. But in 2004,
It was
Steam was like fucking revolutionary.
Well, and I understand like they did a lot to like build the PC gaming like sphere to what it is
But
today.
now we have you play.
But like these people that just worshipped like the floor that Gabe Newell walked on, of like
Thank you,
these-
Gaben. Well, so
they hadn't done anything since 2012 when Dota 2 come out.
that's something around there. So yeah, Dota 2 is the last game Valve came out with, and for me at least, or it might have been Portal 2 might have come out. So for me, I didn't love Valve
Dota.
because of Steam.
Dota.
Steam was a reason to love Valve, but the reason you loved Valve is because
They were a
in
cool
2007, Valve released the Orange Box, which was like
The
Team
thing.
Fortress 2, Half-Life Episode 2, Half-Life 2, Portal for like $60. You got
No, I
4
know,
of
yeah.
like the best games of all time
I bought it 2 years later for $20.
for like like that was old Valve.
Mm-hmm.
Like you pay $60 and you get basically every game you're going to want to play for the rest of the year. New Valve is
Welcome to the Steam Summer Sale.
just like, you
Where
know,
you can buy 100 games
A
and
microtransactions.
bunch
never play.
of money hungry company.
Yes. Yeah,
That's just
it's-
in it.
All I mean,
Not in it for the games.
like
they don't believe in the heart of the cards.
what are they even doing with their developers? Like, was there
I
a
don't think
mass
they really have
exodus
developers
of
at this point.
Valve?
They're probably just supporting and working on the store at this point.
Yeah, but that's got to be so weird.
I mean, I'm sure it's weird, and I'm sure they've completely changed what developers they have, but you'd be surprised how much it would take to keep that thing going.
Well, I'm not saying that Steam isn't like a big thing. It's just like, I don't know.
No,
I
I
feel
know,
like if Valve wasn't really working on games, like you'd have like some story from Polygon or Kotaku of the secret developer exodus at Valve,
Or
because
something.
and like interviews with developers that are like, yeah, I wanted to make games, and now all they want me to do is program Steam, and I don't want to do that. I got into the industry to make games.
Of course, I haven't heard the last time they were even just like, Valve is hiring, like no
Yeah.
one's even talked about really Valve as Valve.
Because they don't exist anymore.
Well, I kind of thought that like video game companies in general just like sat there and were inundated with resumes all the time.
I mean,
They
you would imagine they would be.
They secretly just like went out into the universe and like just disappeared, and now Steam just like
What if everyone knows that no one works at Valve anymore, and it's just like 10 guys in the store?
Well, so the other thing is Valve did make the Vive with HTC. So,
Define make.
I mean, as far as I understand it, Valve pretty much made it and HTC manufactured
No,
it.
yeah, that was yeah.
Like
designed
that's
it.
designed it. Yeah.
They
Anyway,
did- they did the hardware. Valve did the software.
All right,
we went
next.
super sideways. Oh, just fuck you, Gaben.
And Overwatch.
Yeah. So we'll go into my topic.
Hard
next.
transition.
So I don't think.
Slide.
Let's see if anybody can remember.
Dissolve.
Was Overwatch competitive out the last time we recorded,
Or
or had it was either not out or like just came out, right?
I think it was literally about to come out. I don't think it had come out yet.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I can look up when it came out.
well, it's so the lead into my Overwatch topic is
Competitive.
competitive has not been around very long.
No, it's been like a
we're
week.
talking like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks max, and there have been like it's pretty vibrant. You know, as far as like there's a lot of talk about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
like the biggest thing that came today for me is just like that Blizzard, for better or worse, because I'm kind of not 100% positive on it,
Okay.
is like wanting, or is not like sitting up on the mountain and saying,
We
you
done.
get what we give you.
Yeah.
Like the people complain, and like a week later, Blizzard's like, all right, we heard you. You said McCree's too strong. We agree. We what is it?
We nerfed Fran the Hammer.
We nerfed McCree. It's cool. You know, like I don't think there's been many things from Overwatch, competitive or otherwise, where it's been like the community is like, what is going on? And Blizzard just like, nope, not going to do it, or just ignores it.
Yeah.
Like the hero limit in competitive, like
Oh, yeah.
it originally came out, and some people were like, why there should be a hero limit in competitive, and Blizzard said, we don't believe that there should be any hero limits in Overwatch. The game is designed to support hero stacking. If you know, like, we think this is the right decision. And after 2 weeks of people railing at them and saying, this is not good, this is not good, this is not
and
good,
probably getting data, to be fair, but
and getting data, but I think a lot of it is public
still
opinion. And Blizzard didn't do the normal video game developer thing of dig their heels in and say, we're right,
No.
you're wrong. They said, all right,
it's changed.
we'll put it back in, which is like good and bad.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But like, so the thing that makes me not 100% positive on all of this
Is that they changed on the turn of a dime?
is specifically, yeah, kind of that. I mean, I don't think they make just like split decisions just because the community's complaining. But like the McCree nerf, for example, kind of feels like, because if you guys don't know, I mean, I think you do because we talked about it. They rebuffed McCree. They didn't bring back what they took away, but they did something to give him a little bit more power. Bring him back and try and make him more usable. I feel like if they probably should have taken the time to look at him in the first place and say, okay, we're nerfing this, but we're buffing this to make up for it. You kind of have to balance the kit. And I think they've learned that, because in the new the new buffs for like Mercy got a nerf and a buff.
Yep.
They increased the time it takes to get her ultimate, but they also gave her some new abilities to kind of make up for that, which I kind of feel like they've learned from it and said, okay, we can't just take things away. We have to kind of, instead of make the character weaker, we kind of have to shift the perspective a little bit.
Yeah. I would agree, and I mean, the only thing I can think about it or comparing it to is Destiny, where Destiny has made a lot of tweaks throughout the 2 years to the 4 primary gun types.
Yeah.
Well, in all the gun types, but mainly the 4 primaries. About adjusting. Like, there's been different eras of, like, there was the hand cannon era of, like, where hand cannons were just ungodly. They could shoot from across the map. They were sniper rifles, but they were just pistols.
So they went the Halo route.
And then they're like, nerf it to the ground.
And so they're like, we're taking all the range off of hand cannons. And then it became the pulse rifle of, like, pulse rifles just melted everybody. And so then they brought the pulse rifle back down. And they were like, oh, well, we hit the hand cannon. So they brought the hand cannon back up. But then the scout rifle like became too powerful.
Yep.
And so we've seen these different arcs, and they've slowly balanced of like there's bringing everything, and like you have to find this happy medium. And it's just kind of, I don't want to say it's pure trial and error, but it's somewhat is of like McCree was too powerful. McCree had to be nerfed. Like, I'm sure they did tests to say, okay, well, what happens if we took it down to this? What happens if we dialed it down to this? And they said, okay, well, we think this is the right decision. We think taking it to 250 max damage is the right decision, or whatever. Like, that's what it was when they nerfed it to like 250 max damage or something. And then they were like, okay, well, McCree went from up here to like all the way down here, and now nobody's playing McCree. And like, why is it? And it's like, okay, well, it looks like he's actually a little too weak, so maybe we should buff it up to 300. And now McCree's kind of right in the happy medium of, like, not too powerful, but not too weak. Of, like, it is, you just have to dial it in of, like, up and then down and then back up, and then, like, it finds the perfect spot about. And like you said, I do think they are becoming more willing to play with things about, okay, well, Pharah got her ult too quick, so we're increasing the time it takes her to get her ult, but then to counteract that so we don't just destroy her into the ground, we're giving her this small boost or whatever that'll help you out,
Right.
while still not just destroying the character. So I do think they are realizing you can't just nerf a character and hope it works out okay. You do have to be a little more nuanced, but I don't want to say they made the wrong call.
Right.
about,
Yeah. I'm not saying that McCree shouldn't have been like Fan the Hammer was too strong, but
It's just bold to just be like, well, someone complained. We should probably nerf him. And then they do.
well,
Like I do think I haven't noticed anything about Blizzard. Blizzard's right in the I think in the sweet spot in their timing. About a lot of people were upset with Bungie was too slow. About they were like, well, we know there's a problem, but we're looking into it. Like we want to make sure we don't make a mistake. Like, and so they kept putting it off and saying, we're looking into the data. We're looking into the data. We're analyzing the data. And like 4 months later, they're finally like, okay, we finally analyzed, like we have enough data, like we're comfortable to make a change. About Blizzard's like, okay, well, we analyzed the data for a week. This is what we think, so we're gonna do it. We're not waiting. Like, we think we need to make this change. We have data to support our decision. We're doing it.
right. Yeah. And it's cool. I like that they seem pretty responsive, other than the lever XP bug, which is still a fucking thing. Don't tell me it's not a thing, Blizzard. It happened to me.
Don't do it.
And it hurts.
It does suck. That was like 35 minutes of time wasted.
Yeah, but so that was just like one lead into it. The other thing I want to talk. So I want to kind of like talk
You don't
about.
want to talk about how the competitive scene is destroying Overwatch?
That's what I want. I want to talk about competitive Overwatch, or what competitive has done to Overwatch as a whole. So, like, let's just dig into a personal story, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
It's not my personal story.
Oh, no. Whose is it?
Is it a friend?
Ryan's.
It's my story.
It's Ryan's.
I don't have a problem with Overwatch. I'm just not playing it.
Yeah. So
I'm
me a
too
little
competitive of a person to
You
play
are.
competitive
I am
Overwatch
too.
right now. Like, I don't know what it is, but I know one of my faults is I am extremely competitive, and like I hate it, but like I can't stop it.
No, you can't.
And so playing 5 games in a row and losing 5 games in a row,
feels
I
like
just
shit.
decided I'm not playing this, and like I'm done. Like I'm taking a week off of this game. I can't play it right now.
No, wait. Do you remember what day you said you were taking a week off?
It was like Saturday or Sunday. It
So
was
you-
over the weekend.
So you can't play? No, it was definitely not over. I don't think it was over the weekend, was it?
When did we play?
I think we played on like Saturday.
Because he was this all happened the day before.
So it might have been like Friday.
Right.
Might have been Friday night.
Must have been Friday.
So you can't play tomorrow?
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, when I said I didn't really like say anything specifically,
He didn't. He doesn't have like a timer on a wall at home.
I
I
just
remember a
wanted-
week being mentioned.
I mean, I threw it out in the comments just to let you guys like that was me like saying like emphasizing I'm not playing this game about like to get across. Like I'm not just saying I'm quitting. I'm legitimately not playing this game for a week.
yeah, it's it's tough.
And so like I don't know if it's like I was telling you with Call of Duty of like I took a really long break from Call of Duty, and recently I've started playing it again over like the last 2 weeks. And like I don't know what it is, if it's I mean I'm like Prestige 2 or something. So I have
No big deal.
significant like
MVP.
some game time, but like I'm not like a person who just bought the game and trying to play it for the first time or whatever. But I'm getting into lobbies where 7 out of the 10 people are level 30, no prestige. Like they've just bought the game 2 days ago.
or something.
And like I'm just killing them, and I'm killing all of them, and they all suck.
And it feels good.
And I'm not saying it's like the best thing, but like I don't understand why I keep getting in lobbies like this. And so it's clearly something in the coding of like the game thinks I'm on par with these people. And so like I don't know if I just need to sit out and wait. Like let all the good people filter themselves out of where I am at like I started out at 45 and I'm pretty sure I'm at like 32 right now.
Oh, in Overwatch.
In Overwatch.
I don't know if you made. I think you were like 38 or high 30s when you bowed out for a week, and just I think I was in mid 40s at that point. I started at 55. I climbed my way all the way down to 37 at one point. I've made it like I'm back up to like 40 or 41 right now, but like it's. I agree.
I feel like that Reddit post that somebody sent me of like I'm the worst Overwatch player.
That was
like
me.
I'm down to level 20. Like feel okay in yourself because I am the worst Overwatch player. Like I just want to go down to that level and like just play with the losers. Like I'm a loser. I just want to play with the losers. Just let me do it. Like
don't make me lose 30 games to get
lose
there.
20 games in a row to get there. Just let me go down to level 18.
Well, so here, I don't think that your skill level is actually at 20 or low 30s.
Although
I
you
think,
do use a controller.
Yes, you do use a controller. Speaking of which, do you have a gaming mouse or do you need
I do.
one?
I have a mouse.
He just
Okay.
likes the
The
controller.
problem is the keyboard, I think. If
Okay, we'll get you
one
a
thing
keyboard.
I was going to see about is if I one day came over here and like just played like a quick it doesn't even have to
Nicole's
be.
computer's right there. I know you don't have a wife to go home to anymore. You can just play on Nicole's computer tonight.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
But
Woof.
so like
Woof,
I
woof.
I agree that right now the something either in the way that the competitive system is set up or the way that we have been playing it is totally fucking it over. So
Something's wrong.
one thing that I saw is you're supposed to have a skill ranking of 1 to 100,
Yeah.
correct? The actual skill rankings that anybody has is like 25 to 75. The 1 to 25, 1 to 24, and 76 to 100, there's literally nobody in the game that is at those skill levels. So Blizzard is not using their full spectrum, which is kind of lame. And the other thing is like your rank changes so wildly.
It does.
So you play. If I lose when we play, like I think when we played and you decided to quit, like we played like 6 or 7 matches and we lost every single match. I
Every single
lost
one.
6 to 7 levels.
No,
in
and it was
a matter of hours.
I played one game solo queued by myself and won it and did not go up a level. And then we lost 7 games in a row and I lost 7 levels.
It's very punishing right now.
So
And so I just decided, and the last game, one person quit, and then like 2 other people quit, and Thomas quit, and I stayed in just because I wanted to stay in, and I was talking to the other team.
yeah,
And so
well
it
once
was fun, but
once you've got a lever, like there's just no point in finishing a match. But so like
the one thing I can say is like Overwatch right now feels like, and I said this in the chat, feels like my one vague attempt of playing League of Legends. And I never even tried to play competitive League of Legends.
it was literally just
Well,
playing normal.
The game was out for maybe like 6 or 7 months. I saw Taylor playing it, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Taylor's playing it with some of his friends. Like, I'll try it.
When we were all living in the same
We were all
apartment.
living in the same apartment. And so, like, I tried playing it, and, like, every game I got on, people were like, you suck. You're terrible. Like, why are you even playing this game? And I'm just like, I don't... Like, I know I'm not that good, but I don't see you guys doing really well either. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't understand what the problem is here. And so, like, I played it for, like, a month, and I still have it on my computer, but I never play it.
Yep.
And
I
like,
wonder
it's-
if we ever played League of Legends.
it's so far gone at this
all of us?
point of, like...
No, I mean like unknowingly.
Oh,
Because
know.
I like if you guys were playing League of Legends back when I played, like we could have just matched
I mean,
it.
this was like 2000.
I never played normals.
I don't think it was out in 2007. I think it launched in like 2009.
No, it was like 2000. Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, 2007, I was in
2010.
high school, bro.
2010.
Yeah.
I was getting my graduation years mixed up.
Anyway,
We A, never played ranked. B, kind of played normals, but I pretty much only played Dominion and ARAM.
okay, I played before
I mean,
Dominion
this
was a
was-
thing.
This was before.
Oh, I did too,
This was well before ARAM was a thing.
but I just sucked at it.
And then I tried to play like ARAM like at a LAN war, and people are still
Uh-huh.
like, "You suck." And I'm like, "This is completely random."
Like, what do you like? What?
Oh, you gotta love PC gaming.
Gotta love LOL community.
And so like this right now feels like that about like I'm trying to get in because I want to play this cool game, but like I'm just getting shut down and like I don't want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can just play casual. Which back to the entire beginning of this whole thing about like the whole patching and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I definitely like that they're treating casual and competitive differently. At least maybe not in the sense of the hero balances because that would be kind of hard to do, and it's most of those are probably good things to do to both versions.
Well, yeah.
But at least they're only removing the hero stacking for competitive because that means you can still have fun in casual, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
So I guess one thing like this is your topic, I know, and I don't want to take it over.
You can
but,
take
like,
it.
I
Take
think
it.
I linked an article into the chat about saying competitive. It wasn't Paul Tassi. It was another Forbes author, though. I can't think of his name. I think it's Eric something. Wrote that competitive mode is hurting Overwatch overall.
Oh, I remember this now. That was like a whole week ago.
I do remember that.
And his argument was, like, Overwatch is supposed to be this game about, like, you can do whatever you want, and all the characters are the same. Like, all the characters are balanced. There's no perfect team or whatever. And, like, you're supposed to be able to do 6 Soldier 76s if you want. And, like, all this, like, you can do what you want, and that's what Overwatch was originally supposed to be. And that competitive mode is completely dominating, like, the game now of, like...
Yeah.
As long as, like you said, Taylor, as long as they can keep competitive and casual separately, but I have a feeling this is going to end up in the Hearthstone area where we see like these changes about they change wild and standard cards. Like they make one change to the card and for standard, but that completely destroys the card for wild. So like if I wanted to do, like, if I took a break of Hearthstone and came back and was like, you know what, I really liked playing the old Grim Patron deck of, like, the original Warrior Grim Patron. Like, I want to play that.
That was a good deck.
You can't do that because, like, they had to nerf the cards for standard. And, like,
Well, I don't think they had to nerf the cards for standard. I mean, they had to nerf the card. So, like, whether you're playing standard or wild, if
That deck sucked to play
it was a
against.
shitty deck either way. Like when
Well,
something's so powerful that.
Okay, that's not a great example, but, like...
Destiny is
there's
probably
other-
Destiny is probably a very good example. If they nerf, they don't normally. They don't, at least until recently, from last I remembered, it was very hard for them to do things to PvP that they could not or did not do to PvE. I mean, a good example right now is I think they. Well, I don't remember if it's really what they did or not because, like I said, recently they started changing it. But I remember hearing like a lot of the rocket launcher ammo capacities went down. I remember also hearing that happened in PvE as well, not just PvP. So now those launchers are harder to use.
Like, one of the things, like the big complaint is when they rebuffed hand cannons to make them more powerful, but then they nerfed their ammo capacity.
So they're just
But
not
then,
viable,
like,
really.
people are running out of, like, you can't use a hand cannon in PvE because
the right
it
ammo
only
doesn't
holds like
spawn.
60 bullets, and like you run out of bullets after 5 clips.
I'm not respawning constantly with full ammo, essentially. So I think that's what you're getting at. That you don't want them to start doing very drastic things, or even that's kind of drastic, or even very small things that are going to be mired between a competitive play versus a casual play. But I would argue I think competitive needed to come out because a game particularly like Overwatch or particularly like games like it are going to have competitive scenes.
Team Fortress doesn't have a competitive scene.
It does.
It does.
Oh, Team Fortress had a competitive scene since it fucking launched,
before.
bro.
Every
Where have
game,
you been?
Every game has tournaments at LANs of some sort normally. Every game has people that want to be the better at the other person. They do high scores, they do scoreboards, all that kind of stuff. But I'm saying, like, either A, it would have been kept in casual, and maybe it possibly wouldn't have been as popular, but maybe it would have been everyone kept in casual, and then you would have been randomly running into these people. Granted, you have an MMR rating that they say they factor in, but you could be running into these people that are way better at the game than you should ever really come across. You know what I mean? Maybe they grouped up with someone that's not very good because they're playing with them or something like that. Whereas now, they will probably stay in the competitive playlist, and people in the casual playlist can just have fun.
Mode.
Yeah. What?
That's
Yeah,
what
mode.
League of Legends says too.
It is what they say, and it doesn't work all the time. But
It-
that's because you can't control it, though. But I would say the only reason it doesn't work is because there's just that many people. Like, you're going to find them eventually.
Well, my thoughts on
Yes.
this are that this Forbes guy has fallen into the same trap that I fall into with any game that has a competitive scene.
Yeah.
That Ryan has fallen into with Overwatch, which is
And
if
then
there
I'm
is a competitive scene,
staring at the hole.
I need to be in it and I need to be good at it.
Yeah.
Okay, like I don't know your personal experience with League of Legends, but as far as I understand it, Taylor, you played League of Legends like you said, like Dominion, co-op, and all normals. You never touched ranked.
Nope. Never
Like-
once.
Like there's plenty of people that play League of Legends and just play normal games and they don't care. They don't care about competitive. There are plenty of people that probably play Overwatch and play quick play all the time and don't care about competitive.
But even if I play quick play, I want to win.
Right. Well, like you always want to win, but
Yeah.
like this argument of competitive is going to make it stale because these teams are going to find out the perfect team compositions and that's all anybody's going to play is like you only know about that because you're paying attention to the competitive scene.
There are gonna be plenty
if you
of
just
people-
ignore the competitive scene and turn on Overwatch after work
It doesn't
at your
exist.
job that is not games journalism, oops, you kind of screwed yourself there. But like if you're an average person and you go home and you just put on quick play and you know you play May, you play Tracer, you play whatever, you play
May is Bay.
whoever you want and like you have
It's
fun.
so good.
Like I'm with you, Ryan. Like I'm really competitive and stuff. And if there's a competitive scene, I have to be involved and I have to be good. And if I can't be good in the competitive scene, I'm not playing the game. It's not worth it. It is not worth my time to play if I'm not making any progress.
I mean, it's weird because I agree with you that like if I lose too many, we're the same way. If I lose too many matches, I get pissy. Like it's not good. I get on tilt and I get kind of annoying. But at the same time, even when I'm playing casual, like I either turn it off and I ignore the competitive scene, but like I feel like I get more out of the competitive games than I do the casual games because it feels like you're on the same kind of playing level with the other team, and it feels like there's actually a bit of a tug of war happening. Whereas sometimes in the casual games, you come across teams that you just steamroll or just get steamrolled.
I played a quick play game yesterday at work. I played 2 quick play games during lunch.
Yeah.
Which are the first quick play games I've played
In a while,
pretty much since competitive came out. And like both times, like our team comp was like terrible. It's like, does anybody want to go to support? Anybody want to support? I'm the only tank.
Okay, cool.
One
Great.
tank, no support. All right,
One
cool,
tank,
whatever.
4 Reapers. Sounds
Whatever,
great.
sure. I guess. I mean, if you guys just want to lose, it's fine. Whatever. And then we steamrolled them and won in 45 seconds.
And you were just sitting there like, whoo,
It's like,
what?
Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna play Genji. Fuck it. So then I played Genji.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that you're wrong. I would argue that, like,
But we're
I
not
don't want to be, like, MLG Pro or anything. I know I'm never going to be good enough to be that. But, like, I
have to
don't want
believe.
I don't want to plug in the game, put in competitive, and lose 8 games in a row. I want
No
to
one
be
does.
able to at least, like, have some
be
sense of, like,
competitive.
Well, no.
like,
so
rank me properly. Put me
Yes.
in the ranking that like I actually should be in.
Yeah, for sure.
When I go 4 and 6 and then proceed to win, like I could count. I've probably if you discount my placement matches, like since
Yeah.
being placed and where I should be ranked, I've won less than 5 games and lost over 20.
So the way competitive, as far as I understand it, is supposed to work is the same as normal. The same as every game. Your average should come out somewhere around 50%. 45 to 55% is where it should come out on
Supposedly.
average. On competitive, before I started getting on a couple winning streaks over this weekend, before
Yeah, we
I
did.
started, after we played our series of matches where you quit the game for a week, I checked my stats on, I can't remember the name of the site. I think it's called Master Overwatch.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
We should go to the website after this and look.
Yeah,
I'm
actually really interested
to
now.
see what my stats are.
You
And,
might have I don't
take
know.
out my 4 and 6 placement matches.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it even consider my placement matches.
It does. I think it considers every
Okay.
match you play.
So take out the 4 and 6 placement matches and see what my record would be after the fact.
Yeah, but so my
wonder if you can
my
pull up on my
record was I had a 37% win rate. Something is wrong
Where?
when you have a 37% rate, whether you're good or bad.
You should
37
be close to 50.
Right, you should be close to that 50%. So there are issues with the matchmaking. Either there are issues with the matchmaking, or here's one of the other problems that I had personally, and I think because you guys play with me a lot, that you inherited, is if there's people to play with, we group up. Whether that group gels or not, we always group up. And we would
Better with friends.
80% of the time we would end up in a group of 6. And we're playing against
Groups of 6.
mostly other groups of 6, or
Groups of 5 and 1 or
you
something.
get a skill bonus, or a perceived skill bonus, because you're in a pre-made group of 6, which probably hurt us because we really weren't in a consistent group of 6. We were basically 6, us and then 3 other random people that we kind of play with sometimes, which is just I have had more luck playing duo queue and solo queue than anything else.
Yeah.
I feel like when I play solo queue, I get put with people that are at least around my
par.
skill level.
Where when for whatever reason, every time me and Thomas group together, we seem to do fine.
Yeah, it's the more people you add, the more inherent skill bias you get and stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, that's competitive. Let me just
Put a bow on it.
put a bow on it. All those complaints aside, all I want to do is play competitive Overwatch. Today, this afternoon, I kind of assumed that you guys might not want to be in the competitive scene. But if you guys want to play, I am actually going to put together a team and go into tournaments.
Hi. How's it going?
I was talking to Drew today about putting a team together.
I mean, I'm interested. I would say have a sub for me.
Well, what's great about Overwatch is, and probably most games nowadays, is there are weekly tournaments that you can play in.
Do you think they're going to put that in the game?
No, it's probably best that they let a third party handle it.
I think it probably is too.
Because if you do it, if the developer does it, there's only one place to do it. When you let third parties do it, your community just gets so much larger.
Yeah, there's no real barrier.
Yeah.
3 and 11, 27% win rate.
That is wrong.
Wow. Yeah,
The matchmaking
makes
is
no
broken.
sense.
No matter what your skill level is, a 27% win rate is wrong.
My overall is, with my placement matches, 7 and 17, which is only 29%.
Rough.
We just got to take you into...
Georgia says that's rough.
I just need to keep losing and get down to I'll break the barrier. I will get below 25. I will do it for you.
He will make Overwatch great again.
I will.
For somebody, at least.
Yeah. Good luck. See, you could have a whole new lease on life if your whole goal is to get down.
Me and my team, we're gonna start out. We're gonna sink down, and we're gonna be the best team under 25 under the 25 ranking.
He's going to be solid 25. Every time he hits 26, he loses. But until he hits that 26 again, win-win-win.
That's probably one match.
Yeah, it's probably one match.
At any rate.
Anyway.
I think. Oh, wait, what was it? Yeah, I already said it. I love competitive.
I think it needed to happen.
It blows. This game sucks. Play Destiny.
The matchmaking is definitely messed up right now.
Who wants to get exotic swords with me?
This guy.
Okay.
So
What is your topic anyway? Are you even
my topic?
What are you even talking about?
I have a weird topic, so it's probably bad that I went last. But the topic is related to the fact that if why do we always assume if you've been living under a rock, you might not have heard that a particular mobile game came out.
Does it smell like biscuits?
It does, and it smells really good. All right.
Okay.
You might not have heard the particular mobile game came out. Well, it's good, Brad. You might not have heard that Pokemon Go came out. And you can go and be an idiot walking in some neighbor's yard at 2 a.m. in the morning and creeping everyone out and try and catch a squirrel.
Go.
Pokemon Go. So, I've been playing it a bit. It's kind of interesting, but...
A bit?
Yeah, okay.
A bit?
I mean... It's
been playing it a
good.
lot,
It's good.
yeah.
It's good exercise. So where I actually wanted to take this topic though is not just like it's a cool game. What do you think about it?
It's
actually,
a terrible app. Like the app itself is terrible.
It is kind of terrible. And so it's so funny you say that because a friend of mine actually sent me their job listings. They have a mobile engineer, Unity dev. I fit like half of their criteria, and I'm like, I just don't want to move out there, man. Like,
Where would you have to move to be in Niantic?
Seattle, San Francisco, and I think LA or where their offices are.
Can't you just like remote in?
Hey,
That's
San Francisco.
yeah.
Whoa! No!
It's
We
expensive.
can all move out to San Francisco together.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll just all leave Thomas behind. I forgot about the fact that Katie's okay. Anyway, so the article that I actually saw just today, because up until literally 4 hours ago, that was going to be my topic of what do you think of the app, but I saw an interesting article whose title was essentially clickbait in the sense that it's like Pokemon Go is exactly what augmented reality needed, and the entire thing was basically about how. Because in the game, if you haven't played it or if you haven't seen it, a lot of people turn the setting off, so you might not know what I'm talking about. The bit where you're catching said Pokemon, you tap on them and it brings up a little camera. And if you want, it can be a real world camera. And you can have to look around and actually find him and then throw the Pokeballs at him. Or you can turn that setting off and just throw the ball like a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Normal person.
Yeah, at least for me. So the article was talking about how augmented reality hasn't been very big. I would say the biggest evolution in recent years is probably the HoloLens, in the sense that augmented reality has been fairly stale for a long time. It's kind of been used, kind of not been used. Virtual reality has been what everyone seems to want to do and talk about as of late.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to know what your thoughts were necessarily between, do you think that said article might be right, that
No.
after this app comes out and after people get kind of interested in it, because to be fair, developers might be more interested in this now that it's making millions of dollars a day, supposedly. They might think, hey, what else can I do with augmented reality? Because like virtual reality, I would say it's a fairly niche product in the sense that there's a bit of a barrier to entry. You have to have a device or an app that uses it. You have to have an experience that does it well to enjoy it, all that kind of stuff. So do you think they're different? Do you think one could succeed where one could fail? Do you think they are alike in the ways they are working now? All that kind of stuff.
This app is succeeding because it's Pokemon.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think.
Well, I think it's succeeding not necessarily partially because it's Pokemon, but not on its AR capabilities. In the sense that you're thinking, or I think
That the article was at least thinking, because I'm on your side, that I
Well,
think this is all stupid.
let me make sure when you're talking about AR, are you talking about the using real world locations and GPS, or are you talking about specifically the camera?
Painting digital objects or digital experiences on real world objects.
He's talking about
I don't
the
think you
camera, about
answered-
going through the world and looking through
the difference. The
camera
difference
and
between
seeing.
what you're talking about is the use of the real world. Augmented reality isn't just saying using my GPS. It's the bit like if I put my phone on the wall, I can watch TV on the wall instead of watching it on my phone.
So you were talking about specifically visual augmented reality.
Yes.
Before HoloLens, AR meant
more.
AR meant the GPS part of it, which is also Ingress, which is Pokemon Go before Pokemon Go came out like 6 years ago.
Well, just like I think the first one that really did it was like the Layar app. If you ever use that, it's where you could actually search things, and when you wanted to find it, you could bring it up and actually be like, "Oh, it's over in this direction." Like it wasn't just giving you directions. You could actually use your stuff.
I can't remember if it was Paul Tassi mentioned it in an article or he tweeted it out or something, but I completely agreed with it. He said Pokemon Go is going to get developers to develop AR apps, but Pokemon Go isn't popular because of the AR.
No, yeah,
yes.
The AR for Pokemon Go
Is
isn't
the worst
even
part.
good.
It's so lazy.
about,
which is it's
people are
it's
going
why I
to see
turned
it.
it off. It's so dumb.
Developers are going to be like, we need to make the games like this and focus on AR, and they might be able to do it better,
Right.
and it might be worth it.
And that's
like,
where I'm saying, like, so that's where I want to go in terms of, do you think that will happen? Because I would argue virtual reality hasn't always had the greatest
I would
footing either.
say in the place we are now of VR succeeding, Microsoft putting a bunch of money behind augmented reality, like we're in the space for developers to work on AR.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of developers
Do something
within the next 2 years try to put out AR games. But they need to be a lot better than what Pokemon Go has to make the game compelling and worth getting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's just Bo.
Well, so I mean, I remember when the Nintendo 3DS came out.
Yeah, and
it came with pack-in AR games of this same
where you
ilk.
use the camera and stuff. And...
Yeah, that I thought were cool. I mean, it kind of gave me a little bit of headache because I was using the 3D with the AR. But like, you look at a wall and you say start, and then bugs start climbing through the wall, and you have to like shoot them with a gun. And like, that was way more fun than the Pokemon Go version of AR.
No,
but that's pretty much as far as it ever went. Nobody ever used it in the 3DS. They could have. I think augmented reality will be way more useful as a productivity tool, a la HoloLens and putting TVs right in front of you and stuff like that, than a gaming tool.
Or even versus just having a virtual reality place do the same thing.
Yes, I think as far as games go, I think virtual reality has a better chance of giving good experiences than AR, because the whole point of games is to kind of transport you to this other world.
Yep.
And it's a lot easier to do when you're
not looking at 50% of your world.
Yes.
No, yeah, that's kind of what I was agreeing with as well. Yeah, and that's what I was getting at in terms of like, do you think it's going to have the same thing? Because I mean, I'm still in the camp though that arguably they've had the same kind of story in the sense that VR wasn't always popular, didn't always do very well. There were always very weird things, and then recently people started doing more exciting things, and they started getting hardware deals and stuff like that. And now it's a big thing.
100%. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say augmented reality is stupid and there's no point in doing it. I mean,
but I think it's
the same. People have the same stance about virtual reality, and then here we are today, and now people can't get over virtual reality and everything that it's going to bring.
But I think we're all in agreement that it's going to be weird for games. Like that might not.
Well, in its current form.
Yeah, which is fair.
Some genius is going to have to come out and show
Palmer
us.
Luckey's going to show up, and he's going to be like, "Yo, check this out."
Yeah.
And I mean, we're all pretty much agreeing here, I think. So I don't want to just keep saying the same thing, but like, somebody's going to have to develop some great, like, some amazing thing that's like everybody's like, this is amazing. Pokemon Go is cool because it's Pokemon. And like, you can actually go out in the world and feel like you're catching Pokemon, and like, it's everybody's 12-year-old fantasy.
It's pretty fun.
Of wanting to play, like, be Ash Ketchum and catch them all or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, Pokemon Go is not an AR experience of like to change the game.
It's there for the fun of it, really. Yeah. No. Yeah, I agree. There's your
I
bow.
like it.
There's your bow. That's the thing today. We're going to put a bow on that.
Bow done.
That was all I had. I thought that was going to be more interesting, but the second you guys started talking, I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of true.
It's okay. That's why we talk about it on the podcast. Also, I think our topics both went pretty long, so we might still have over an hour's worth of footage at this point.
Dedicated viewers.
The podcast, man. Is there any other housekeeping? We have social media. Like us on YouTube. We don't have Facebook.
Like us on the things.
Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube.
On the things.
TDOB Podcast, at TDOB Podcast.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
On Twitter. You can tweet at us.
We'll answer questions.
We do answer questions.
We've done
We
that
did
before.
a whole podcast for the one guy that asked us a question about Overwatch. So, like,
he essentially launched this entire Overwatch craze that we have.
He did.
Yeah.
Because we didn't care about Overwatch before he asked us to look into it.
And then here we are.
So, do you want to say one?
Oh yeah, we have to vote.
Oh.
I'll vote Thomas.
He's just
I should have voted Taylor.
Now it's up to Taylor.
Taylor
has to vote.
Yeah, I vote Thomas.
Nice. I haven't really thought about it before, but there's got to be some flaw in our voting system.
I have no idea what
the
it
fact
could
that
be.
you always wait for everybody else to go first because you always want to get the vote.
I have no
I
idea.
vote sometimes.
I mostly vote sometimes.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like if you vote for mine and Taylor votes for yours, I could either stalemate it.
I mean, you
or
know
make
what we
it
could
yours.
do. You know what we could do, and then never get answers.
What?
We could leave it up to the viewers.
Yeah, this one's up to you viewers.
Who cares about our opinion? You tell us who really won.
Who won?
Who had the more interesting?
Tell us
topic?
down below in the comments.
Adios.